What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 coming to you with another video game review. And this time I'm reviewing the game Madworld, which is a hack and slash game that was released on the Nintendo Wii by Sega and Platinum Games. And in the game, you pretty much play as Jack Caveman, who entered into this game show called Death Watch that was created by a group called the Organizers after they took over this city called Varnigan. And pretty much as you progress through the game, you find out pretty much who Jack is and why he entered into Death Watch to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Now, the game Death Watch has you in 5 different neighborhoods in Varnigan, which Jack has to travel through, and each of them is divided into uh 3 sections. The first one being Fartigan City, where the sections are Central Station downtown and Red Line Highway. Asian town. The sections are Great Wall, Street Briscoe, and Sumo area. Then there's Mad Castle, which the sections are the courtyard, the dungeon, and the sanctuary. Then there's Area 66, where the section are Access Hangar, the facility, and the robot factory. And then finally there's Casino Land, where the sections in there are called the Strip, the Tower, and the Ring of Madness. And through the course of the game, via the cutscenes, Jack pretty much talked to a guy named Agent 13, who is pretty much a sponsor of anyone who participate in Death Watch. And, pretty much the enemies and bosses that you will fight throughout the course of the game really just depends on what area or neighborhood of Vatican City you happen to be in. Now, throughout the course of the game, you will use like different weapons and all that, but your first line of offense is pretty much punch, kicks. You can throw your enemies, but the one thing that you can use is pretty much a chainsaw that's attached to Jack's right arm. You know what I'm saying? Which is like a popular item with slash weapon in Death Watch and all that. Now, plus there are also some like areas in the game where you pretty much try to either punch off, use the chainsaw, or use the bike to ram into other vehicles to knock the enemies off. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much you can use you can like get like onions and pills to fill your health and all that and everything. And there's the thing called the bloodbath challenge, which they put you in like different types of mini games, uh, different type of mini games and all that. You know what I'm saying? So you can score as many points as you can possibly can. You know what I'm saying? And for you to participate in the bloodbath challenge, they will you have to go to where that particular challenge is located. Then they'll explain what the rules are. Then you pretty much take part in the challenge. You know what I'm saying? And then you also pretty much take part in like the Death Watch challenge, where you pretty much earn like bonus points and all that. Even though like the majority of those Death Watch challenges are not mandatory. Now, you will pretty much have to fight the higher ranked players, which are pretty much the bosses at the ends of each sections of the neighborhoods that I mentioned earlier. You know what I'm saying? But before you're able to really like fight them, you have to earn enough points to get the right to challenge them. And once you get enough points to challenge those bosses, a ring stand will show up. You have to go to the where the bell is located and hit the ring bell rather to ring it. Once you do that, the boss battle pretty much start, and pretty much the strategy against the boss is depending on who it is and everything. They will explain who the boss is and what their choice of weapons are. And one thing I do like about pretty much fighting the bosses is like the the strategy against each of them are fundamentally different because the way they fight is different. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about the Mad World, it does have a two-player mode, and it's which really consists of the bloodbath challenges that you unlock during the course of the one-player like campaign. So if you want to participate in all of the stages, well, pretty much the bloodbath challenges in the two-player mode, pretty much best thing to do is unlock those bloodbath challenges during the one-player campaign and all that. Now, the rules in the bloodbath challenges in the first player campaign is pretty much the same in the two-player. Only thing is, it's like the pretty much you fight against, not fight against, but you and the other player pretty much try to take out as many enemies as possible to rack up enough points, and while the time is running down, when the time runs out, whoever has the most points between you and the other player is pretty much declared the winner. You can play all over again and stuff like that. Now, as far as like weapons, you can use street signs, oil drums. Then there's the environmental weapons, like spikes on the wall. You can use that to take out enemies and stuff like that. But you gotta be careful about certain environmental stuff like the spikes, because they can hurt you and all that. Now, as far as the graphics and the design of Madworld, actually it is pretty good, even though it's only limited to the color. Even though the color palette is like limited to really black, white, and red, and all that. And as far as the gameplay, it is pretty excellent in my opinion, and it seemed like to me, Sega and Platinum Games took advantage of the motion controls that the Wii offers. You know what I'm saying? So I think I don't know, I don't know if to say they outdid themselves, but they took advantage of what the Nintendo Wii has to offer. Like I said, with the motion controls and I would say, as far as the soundtrack goes, it's pretty much consists of like different rap songs and all that. But it's not particularly my cup of tea as far as like what type of songs that would pick. But if you like those songs, you gonna enjoy the soundtrack and all that. But to me, it seemed like the best part of Mad World was the cutscenes and all that, particularly the cutscenes where you talk to somebody after you defeat a boss. You know what I'm saying? You find out what's like really going on within Vatican City and all that. From an overall standpoint, Mad World was a it's a really good game, but the main issue was that I wouldn't say it was like a pretty much Mad World sold poorly and all that. It ended up being an underrated game. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much one of the most underrated games that was released on the Wii. And one thing about it, I guess what hampered it, I guess, was the fact that Mad World is a over the top violent game. Pretty much is equivalent to one of Quentin Tarantino's movies and all that. But I think there was another thing that factored into the poor sales of Mad World was other games that was released around the time. Madworld was released, so it ended up being underrated. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty good game. As far as the score, I would definitely give Madworld 9 out of 10 because they get pretty much did. They had no Madworld good Sega and Platinum Games. With that being said, if you actually like Mad World, whether it's like the dialogue or the graphics and all that, you can mention that. If you like the controls, you can also mention that. So even if you disagree with me, you can also mention that and all that. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. This is your boy Big Metro Fan 12 signing off.